Welcome to the Melton Truck Line's online training library on load securement. You have chosen the Load Securement Series Volume 2 Gray Iron. The object of the instruction is to overview highlights of how to secure a gray iron load. Gray iron should be treated as a multi-layer load with the potential to move upon transit. Gray iron can either be preloaded or live loaded. These loads can vary on the number of levels that are built on the trailer. In reality, the way this is loaded each time can vary from trailer to trailer. You will need to take your time to look at the product for the best securement points possible. Remember to always strap your load to prevent it from moving in 4 different ways: side to side, front to back, up and down, and avoid it from toppling. On this load, you will see our supervisor demonstrate how to work efficiently on these types of loads. Take note of anything you see that may be of benefit when you get your next load assignment containing gray iron. To prepare to secure this load, our supervisor has identified where he wants to place each strap for each individual layer. Because this is a preloaded trailer, our supervisor will need to feed each strap through each layer as needed. The idea in first securing this load is build yourself a stable foundation so that if you have to skip layers for lack of straps, you will have stabilized your load from the ground up in structure. Because we have to feed straps through each needed layer, our supervisor uses a special rod. Many of our professional drivers have used such things such as PVC pipe, telescoping paintbrush poles, or anything else that makes sense to help you in pushing the strap between each layer. Remember, our hooks must go through the rub rail and wrapped around the rub rail to be in compliance with both Melton Truck Lines and DOT. The demonstration by our supervisor is the preferred way to use strap hooks with our equipment at Melton Truck Lines. What you will want to do is to start working on one side of the trailer and feed or throw all of your straps. This will save you time from walking around your trailer for each strap that you throw. Next, our supervisor then proceeds to start from the other side of the trailer and pulls all the straps over to make it easier for him to secure the hooks on the other side of the trailer. Don't forget that when you place each strap for securement, you need to take into consideration the dunnage. Try to collapse the straps in places where it makes sense that you are securing the dunnage from moving during transit as well. Now that all the straps have been thrown or fed through and all the hooks are secured to the rub rails, it's time to move winches where they correspond with each strap. If you happen to notice your winches not lining up right, now is the time to make some corrections before you have anything strapped down. Coming from the experience of drivers that have gone through this already, this can save you time and money during your securement time. The less time we spend here making this mistake, the better the odds are we can get you onto your destination and unloaded in time to take another load. The next stage of the securement process is padding. You will receive a box of padding, but make sure and ask for this before you leave on your way to the shipper. Each strap must get padding or you will run the risk of damaging your straps. Watch how our supervisor pads his load. In some areas where the load gets too high to pad from the ground, our supervisor demonstrates how to use any equipment he may have on hand, but don't rule out the fact that you may have to get up on top of the load to complete this task. Our last critical stage is the tightening of each strap. There are many ways to deal with the additional strap material left over. It has been our experience that keeping the additional strap material tucked in behind the rub rail satisfies our goals and DOT standards as well. If possible, attempt at practicing to use this technique, or something closely resembling this. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask for help, either at our terminals or an experienced Melton Truckline driver. Also remember, for any securement questions, we have a dedicated staff member available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And in some cases, you may have to utilize additional securement, such as a 4-inch hand winch, to add to the proper securement of the load. Watch as our supervisor demonstrates how to secure this properly. Remember these essential rules of securement for this load. Number 1. Try to secure each layer with at least 2 straps per layer. Number 2. It's important that 2 straps over the top of the load, both in the first and last 5 feet of the load, is a DOT requirement. Number 3. Use alternating pull for every other layer. And lastly, always protect your straps from getting damaged by the load.